Zach's the kind of person who prefers to laze around his apartment on a weekend, especially after having a busy week like last one. But he's gonna be at the Wright's place because he went to try and save Hana. The big guy's nowhere in sight, though, when I arrive in his unit. Figures, people don't seem to be where they should be when I need them. Looking around, I find no signs where he might have gone. He usually leaves a note on his fridge if he's out for the day, just in case someone drops by. As there isn't one, he probably just went out for a quick walk. I hope. Maybe he ran out of eggs or something and went out to buy some? He is out of eggs, after all. Puts my running mind to rest for a while. He always has to have some, be it for an omelet or something he's baking. I'm gonna eat some eggs later.
Should you be rummaging around?
Nom, 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 nom.
It's bad enough we went in here without asking for his permission.
Chill, I'm just looking.
Actually, I could also go for a fucking pie right now, but Zach's fridge is next to empty, save for a few leftovers. All I can do is sigh as I close it behind me.
If you see me take anything, feel free to call the police.
Isabella's quick to shoot me a sharp glare and another chuckle slips from me, despite the unease in my stomach. But the tear only lasts a few seconds, mostly because she hasn't been in the mood for any sort of friendly banter. As the silence is telling, and it's quite Isabella. It's usually the first recipe for, and a quiet Isabella. It's usually the first recipe for an incoming shitstorm.
Always do this whenever you visit another person's house. Because I have a lot of questions about your methods.
Just with Zach.
I'm so worried for her friend, of course, and despite what's bothering Isabella, she's anxious too. She's been standing by the door for a few good minutes. Since we entered Zach's place, in fact, doesn't seem to know what to do with herself. But as much as I want to put her at ease, her nervous tics are starting to get to me. The manner in which she makes herself smaller, the way she fidgets with her hands, clasping them one moment and unfurling the next. It's distracting enough that I want to ask what's wrong. I doubt she'll give me a straight answer, though, and the best I can do is help her
You don't
temper
have to
it.
hang around the door. You might be here for a while. You can sit down.
She hesitates for a second, but eventually takes an empty seat by Zach's study table.
Are we going to look for him?
Sure, we can, but where are we going to start? I can think of a few places he might be, but Luxburn's a big city. I don't want to miss the big guy if we leave, and...
I trail off, making a vague gesture in the general direction of Zach's bed. The messy bed suggests he was in a hurry. Well, his phone's there. The messy bed suggests he was out in a hurry. He didn't even bother to fold the sheets. His cell phone's been left behind as well, another odd thing when he has made it a habit to never leave it behind in case of client
the
calls.
locked door points to the fact that it wasn't a forced exit.
That seems to reassure her, but not so much. Understandable, anything might happen. In hindsight, I should have left Rebecca alone, either. We'll have to check on her later. In the meantime, Zach, but with no other clue where he is and no other way to contact him, we have no choice but to wait. Sure, I could give the room another thorough run-through, but I don't think Zach would appreciate me upending his place. Isabella won't let me do that either. Besides, I haven't eaten anything. Isabella probably hasn't too. We did leave in a hurry. Might as well take this chance to cool down a bit, right? Anything to distract myself so that I don't just charge headfirst because of whatever paranoid scheme that comes to mind. Isabella's with me. I can't be reckless. Returning to the kitchen, the first thing I see is a bag of chips when I rifle through his cupboards. After muttering a permission and an apology to its owner won't hear, I grab it. Isabella doesn't miss shooting me another glare, but she doesn't really make an effort to stop me this time. She ignores my offer of food, though. So instead, I set myself on Zach's old couch and turn on the television. Isabella's science may not be too heavy, but it sure as hell is awkward. The screen lights up right as some awful noontime drama starts airing on the Channel 9. Nothing like sitting in front of a TV with a mindless drone running in the background to waste away the time. And waste it away we do. The afternoon has hit its last few hours when movement comes from the other side of the door, and Zach's heavy treads break the monotonous drivel of the TV. The locks click, the knob turns, slowly it swings open to reveal very exhausted-looking Zach. What, did he run a marathon?
Sup, Z-Man?
Hey, Zach. Sorry we just barged in here. Ash was...
Relax. Z-Man gave me a copy of the key himself.
Light as my tone might be, his arrival, speaking of hunger, my stomach's like, rah, rah. His arrival eases the restless edge in me. Who knows what I would have done if something bad had happened to one of my friends. If another minute had gone by without him showing up, I might have resorted to unconventional
Only
methods.
after you broke the 13th one? I can't keep replacing them every time you think it'd be a good idea to break into my apartment. And stop calling me Z-Man!
I didn't break anything this time.
Oh, we've been here before, never mind. Here, what I'm thinking about happened a little later.
Ash, just because I gave you a key doesn't mean you can just stroll in here whenever you want to. And hey, is that my...
It's scary how friendly banter and easy smiles come naturally. I do it, even without thinking, and that speaks volume about how comfortable I am around him. That's nice, isn't it? What makes me afraid of it, however, is the idea that the time might come where I might just do these without even meaning to and offend him in some way. The friendship we have might be closer than most I've shared with others, but there are boundaries you can't cross with the other person without the other person's permission. Zach's been respectful of that so far. Neither asking about my parents or what happened to them. Me? I bet he'd say that not so much. It's also his easy banter that makes me wish we could just stay like this. No worries, no problems. Just potato chips and the debate on whether or not I deserve them. But as usual, something always cuts moments like this short.
Of course he eats all of it. You know, I was saving that for the weekend. Did you at least share some with Bella?
Don't worry about it. I'm good, Zach.
Really? It's free food, you know? What was that you usually say? You don't say no to free food? What happened?
No, I'm just not hungry.
Although her tone forces him to do a double take, Zach doesn't push it. The question is all too clear in his eyes when he glances my way, though. I really wish I could answer him. Despite my best effort, Isabella's been unforthcoming as well. What am I supposed to do? I can't just force her to speak, can I? She's not a criminal to be interrogated. She's a friend, for Pete's sakes. It's a good thing Zach has a better handle on the situation than I. And soon enough, he changes the subject. Where it leads to isn't necessarily the better topic, however.
Aye. But if you want something, just say so. I've got a fully restocked pantry right here at your disposal. Still not a 5-star level thing, but for an empty stomach, it'd do. Just say the word.
Thanks, Zach. Maybe next time. Food is not really what we came here for. Ash, he's the one who...
There's a plan there for me to take the lead in this, but where do we start? Mansion, the strange things we've been seeing, the letter. Even I am afraid of what he might say. I can't even believe I'm considering taking a deep look into this whole thing in the first place. But here I
Please
am.
don't tell me something happened again.
No, nothing. None so far. And we're keeping it that way as much as possible.
Ash, it's not that easy.
We don't know that. Let me...
Sometimes I amaze myself how much I try for her. But what else can I offer her? I was the first one who brushed her off. We've all been given our warnings that day, and that desperate pleading tones of her, and I just stood there judging her. This is the least I can do, perhaps even to make up for those other times I've hurt
Let me
her.
look at this first, okay? I agreed to help, but you've got to let me handle things from now on.
I already told you everything.
There must be something we're not seeing in this just yet. We'll sort this out, but no more silly ideas and running around on your own. You're making people worry more than necessary. Becca, especially.
So everything's fine?
Depends on who you're asking. How are things with you? Anything odd?
Good, I guess. Admittedly, how things went down at the housewarming party last night threw me off a bit.
I'm not asking about that. Remember the letter thing Isabella's been yapping on about? I'm asking about that kind of odd.
As expected, Zach starts to look at me like I've grown a second head. Yeah, I would too if there was ever a universe where I was standing in front of myself. Because even as a child, I never believed in ghost stories. The lucky charm and mystical objects from my mother have often been stored away or given as paltry gifts to those who would appreciate them more.
Well, the dreams, they're a lot worse than usual. There's a woman now, ever since we saw that letter. I don't know if it's the same one Isabella talked about. Maybe it is, maybe it ain't. I really don't want to go back to sleep sometimes. Last night was the worst. Anyway, why are you asking about this?
Rose's death isn't just a coincidence, Zach. It may have something to do with... I may have...
Wait, stop right there for a sec, Bella. I thought you ain't buying this stuff, Ash. Just the other day, you said the exact same thing.
Granted, I haven't eliminated every single possibility here yet. But what else is there to go off of from here? The worried look Zach shoots my way doesn't help one bit and and helping me gather my thoughts either, when that's what I came here for. However, everyone's suddenly just so worried about me. It's not like I'm pulling this out of my ass.
I still don't, but even Rebecca, out of all people, claims there's something. Whatever this is, someone has got to look into it. Everything about this screams shady.
And along with Isabella's warnings, what's occurring around Zach? What's happening around Luxborn since Isabella found the
Have you
letter?
just seen the news this morning?
Zach's puzzled expression is enough to answer. Of course he hasn't. Sorry, my hands are full. Shit on the screen. Alright. Another night, another nightmare. The guy most likely went out as soon as he got out of bed to shake his images off. The memories have never really left him. Isabella,
I haven't, actually. Mama called, and I was busy.
That could easily mean anything. Did her Kuya, her older brother, end up in jail again? She's had to bail him out numerous times in the past, though all it did was piss her off, not sap out every ounce of cheer in her. Or is it that the other brother? The one who keeps insisting that he'll quit school so she could come home. That was 2 years ago. As far as I know, she already sorted that one out. It could have been her father, right? With the mansion sale, she's earned enough that cover every bill for a while. It should. So
No
what is
problem. It should be in the afternoon news as well.
Whatever's bugging her, I doubt it's something meant for casual discussion. Else she would have mentioned it sooner. Tucking my curiosity for later, I take the remote and begin cycling through the channels. A distraction. Not a good one, I admit, but it's definitely better than leaving her to brood. Eventually, I find one doing a recap of this morning's report. And there it is. The poor guy is unidentifiable with how badly his body's been burnt. Murder by arson? That'd be the logical explanation if I was the officer looking into it. Except they couldn't find the source of the fire. The fire didn't even spread.
Found dead in the early hours of the morning today. The fire was contained within the room and no other tenants were harmed, according to Luxborn police.
They're going to consider it spontaneous human combustion soon enough if they don't find anything else. But what's important for everyone to note is the state of the
Similar
room.
writing was found in another victim's room from last week's incident. Both were employees of Briar Realty Corporation. LBN has reached out to the...
Like what happened to Cooper. Hell, I wonder how many other deaths like this have been missed while I've been looking into Wright. The LPD's already thinking it's a serial killer at this point. How long until they consult with the London Metropolitan? I'm not sure. The Anselm Butcher has always been an enigma even to the people within the city. Gone for a few years, then in the next, one body after another is found. Merely handling the case has apparently driven the chief inspector insane years ago. He never did find out who committed those murders. Maybe now this time.
Because of that thing, isn't it? I did this somehow.
Her words all come out like a whisper, but each syllable lingers in the air, heavy with her guilt. In the thick tension of the room, they strike harsher than anything we've ever said. However, she also has to understand, that she isn't the one. She isn't the only one on this. No one has asked her to take this upon herself. Rebecca won't. Zach won't. I sure as hell
It ain't
won't.
too late. We could still fix this. There's 3 of us here. 4 if you count Rebecca.
Because I didn't let her die. Because that would have been depressing as fuck.
No, she's staying away from this. I don't want to involve her in this any more than I already have. Both of you...
I already said it. That's completely out of the question. Stop asking.
Arguments aside, this is still a whole fucking mess and we're in it blind. The only way to make it worse is if we start running around like a bunch of headless chickens. But I have a concrete plan now, I think. Maybe Isabel's right. Maybe we should dig deeper into BRC itself. Maybe we are looking at it the wrong way. However, my suspicions are mine for the moment. The details are something Zach doesn't need to know until I have something to show. It's not that he's aware that I have an idea in mind. For his part, Z-Man doesn't push it, and nothing but a heavy silence leads our departure hours later. Seriously, Zach would probably make a more responsible officer than me, if only he had the heart to join the force. We could certainly use more kind people like him. But as good as that thought is, I push all of it to the back of my mind as Isabel and I head for the car. Tonight, I can't stay distracted.